Hey guys, in our first ever episode of Yum Talks, we interview Shihan Chowdhury, where we talk about how he combined his passion for food and videography into his awesome TikTok channel called @ChiliPepperCooks. This is a really great one to watch. I hope you all enjoy the first episode, and obviously please comment any feedback you have. Enjoy! Okay, and we're recording. So, welcome everyone to the first ever Yum Talks, where we join food brand TikTokers and just talk through personal passion experiences with cooking and ultimately share recipes and tips in the kitchen. I have here with me at Chili Pepper Cooks, better known as Shihan Chowdhury, and he is an awesome food TikToker. We got connected through me actually seeing his videos and commenting on his live because he goes live all the time. And he has actually been doing this amazing series on his profile about Ramadan day recipes. And we wanted to get together on live and just talk through your favorite recipe that you've made so far, Shihan, and also just what Ramadan means to you, where your passion for cooking came from, how you got started on TikTok, all that stuff. So that's what we'll be covering in this conversation today. But want to just start off by giving you an opportunity to introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so my name is Shihan. On my TikTok handle, it's actually, Chili Pepper Cooks. I actually started TikTok about, I would say about 3 months ago. And so essentially, I just been trying to see, what I can do. And my background is I'm from Bangladesh. And one thing about Bangladesh, if any of you guys ever go to Bangladesh and actually eat a dinner or a lunch at someone's house, you'll see three things that are always going to be on the table. And one of them is garlic, raw garlic, and another one is a raw onion, and the third one is Thai chili pepper. You're always going to see those three things there. And so I wanted to use the Thai chili pepper and really make a page about putting Thai chili pepper in literally anything and everything that I cook, somewhere or another, even if it's a sweet dish, even if it's a drink, whatever it is, baked goods, doesn't matter. I'm going to try to fit Thai chili pepper in there. And so that's essentially been my theme.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. The way you pull it out of your hat in every episode is
I should have
just,
had one today.
oh man, yeah, that's a miss. But seriously, a unique angle, and I love how it's connected to your heritage and the food that comes from your culture. I think that's so cool. So, just to start off with the conversation, I would love to hear where your passion for cooking came from, right? Because I remember in a live that I was in with you. Well, I was watching, I wasn't in it with you, but you were talking about how you started cooking at 14 years old, which is pretty young to take it seriously. So I would love to hear kind of where that passion came from, how you got started.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would always see my parents cook. So I would always see my mom cook. And when she cooks, she just literally, she doesn't measure or anything. She just throws things down. And she always cooked very well. And then another time I saw my dad cook. So my mom cooked like, 90% of the time. And then I saw my dad cook, and his food was just as good. So I was like, you know what? This is not just a female skill, or this is not just a mom skill. I need to learn it too. So, that's when I was like, okay, let me see what they're doing in the kitchen. And then also my brother would also cook too. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this seems like a skill that everybody needs. And then I would always see like my brother watching like Food Network and those type of shows and where they would teach you how to cook and stuff. So I kind of just started picking up skills from there,
Mm-hmm.
seeing Food Network or like obviously recently about 10 years ago like YouTube, just watching YouTube videos and seeing YouTube tutorials and things like that. So that's
Yeah.
where it really started. But the actual passion, because before then I just used to cook food just to basically eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to like if I'm hungry, oh, let me just make some soup and that's it. But about 5 years ago, I went to a restaurant in DC. It's called the Dabney, and at that restaurant, it's a Michelin-starred restaurant. It's farm to table, and I remember I got a scallop dish. It was an appetizer, and I got the scallop, and on top of the scallop, the chef put a blackberry, just a whole blackberry on top of the scallop, and the waiter was like, "Well, you're supposed to eat the whole thing, as a whole bite." So then I was like, "Why? Why would they put a
Yeah,
scallop and blackberry together.
that's
So
so interesting.
I kept my mind open. So I just put the whole thing, and I ate the whole thing, and I was like, whoa, these are like two different flavors, but yet they blended so well together. And ever since then, I was like, hold on, I didn't even know you could do that. And then that from that day, it really intrigued me to like mess around with flavor profiles, do fusion foods. So do like yeah, like Mexican, and then do like Bangladeshi, and bring those together. So do a lot of those. And essentially that's where it really started. So if you see my most popular video on TikTok, which one is it? It's the blackberry fried chicken.
Yep.
So I took that same concept. I took blackberry, but I made like a compote out of it, like a sauce.
Mhm.
And then I used that as as my buffalo wing sauce on the fried chicken. And that was one of the most viewed views on TikTok.
You know what's crazy about that? That's the first video I ever saw of yours,
Yeah.
ever. I saw that video, I liked it. I was like, I might make a yummy or yucky on this. And then I kind of just it went further and further down in my like page. But then I saw you on live, and that's when we connected. So that is so cool that is the origin story of that recipe. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And I know you're not just a cook on TikTok, right? I think you talk about it on your live sometimes, but not a lot of people know. Like, you're also a cinematographer, you own your own marketing agency. Like,
Right.
that is so cool. Talk about how you got started with that and where that passion came from in that part of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. So like before all this, or before me having my own business, I worked at the IRS as a software test engineer for like 7 years. It's a very specialized, skill and position. But while I was working at the IRS, I had a side business going on, and that was like photography and cinematography. That's something I also did as a child, because my dad bought a video camera to do like family recordings, but then I kind of utilized it and learned editing, and those kind of things. But
Mhm.
what ended up happening was like in 2010, I remember I bought a DSLR, and then that was a DSLR that did photos and videos. So that's when I started learning composition, and I started getting really, deep down the rabbit hole, and started learning a lot, and then practicing a lot. I used to do free gigs for people all the time. So like, artists, I used to make free music videos for them. Businesses, I used to do free gigs, and it wasn't just like me handing out free gigs. It was more for like me getting a portfolio and me learning a lot, with it.
Mhm.
And then at the same time, my who's my partner now in the agency, he had like a little social media, a popular social media. It was called like Workout Routine, and so essentially, like we started just doing a lot of social media marketing as well. He would use his social media skills, and I would use my cinematography and photography skills, and then we both kind of ended up, combining those skills, and then we ended up also opening up our own businesses. Like we were one of the first. We're like in 2010. I don't know if you know, but people was selling like tea online, like like drinking tea. But
Mhm.
we were one of the first people that were that hopped on it, and we were selling it on social media. And then
Wow.
we just started other businesses, on the side. And eventually now, we have like three businesses under us,
Mhm.
and our marketing agency is more of the umbrella. And what happens is like when businesses come up to us and say, hey, can we use your services? We always end up becoming their partner, because
Mhm.
they just like the results that we give them, and they're gonna either pay a lot or just partner up with us.
Yeah. That is so cool. And I saw on your website you guys do like the cinematography, website development, e-commerce, all of that. It's so cool that it's not just the fact that you offer those services, but you have an extensive amount of experience in those
Absolutely.
areas. That's awesome. So where did the two things marry, right? Was it your TikToks first where you said, "Hey, I'm gonna try to mix my passion for cinematography and food together," or was there a different point where those two things met?
So a lot of artists, like if you're an artist, either a painter or a musician, or if you have clients, you'll know that you'll start a hobby, and then your hobby ends up making you money, right?
Mhm.
But when it ends up making you money, you're essentially delivering a product for someone else, and because you're delivering your artwork for someone else, they get to dictate how that artwork is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went through the last 13, 14 years or whatever of me making artwork, and then people dictating like, can you change this? Oh, can you change that? Can you do this? Can you do that? And which is fine because they're paying me to do it. So, you know, it's a job at that point. But then it got to a point where it was like, all right, this is my hobby and I want to enjoy my hobby. So that's when I was like, well, I like cooking, and I know I'm a cinematographer and photographer. So what if I just combine the two, and I make my own artwork for me, and no one can control it. I have control over my own artwork at this point. So if you go on my TikTok, you'll realize like not only are the videos done in a certain way, but my page is laid out in a certain way. You know, that's because I really treat it like an artwork. It's to me, it's like, how can I make a better video than the video I made before? It's like, to me, it's like, I'm only going to be in competition with me, because that's the only way you can actually grow, is to always compete with yourself. So it's like, anytime I make a video, as soon as I'm done with the video, I always ask myself like, okay, what's next? You know?
That is really awesome, honestly. And it's so cool that you were able to combine those two passions and say, hey, this is going to be my thing and it's going to be a unique thing. And you did that with the chili peppers and being able to make the fusion food. Like, it's it's really good. It's really working. Like, I really enjoy your content. Every time I see one of your videos, I click on it. So now let's get into your favorite recipe, right? So you told me before we started this that it was the butter chicken mac and cheese, right? So where did the inspiration for that recipe come from?
So everybody on my on the comment, not everybody, but a majority of the people in the comment section were like, you know, you got to make a South Asian dish. You got to make a South Asian dish. And so I was on a live on I forgot, it was like about 10 days ago. I was on a live, and one of my followers, and I will never forget his name because his name is Saeed. And I remember during this live, someone threw out like some crazy idea at me. They were like, why don't you make a grapefruit chicken, since you made, you know, blackberry chicken?
Yeah.
and then I was like, hold on, you might be on to, like, they were making a joke, but I was like, hold on, you might be onto something. Let me actually try it out. You know, it might not be bad. And then somebody else was like, oh, you know, I love how you're not shutting down her ideas and you're, you know, really listening to it. And then I was like, oh, of course, absolutely. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna, you know, try to, you know, I'm not one of those people that just, you know, that's not gonna be, you know, closed door or anything. Or if you're trying to troll me, you know, I love trolls. So I always
Me too. I
entertain trolls.
welcome the hateful comments. I love playing around with them.
Absolutely. So I love trolls. So either way, I was entertaining it. And then I was like, you know what? If you guys have ideas, let me know right now. And so people started coming on the live and they were giving me their ideas. And then this guy's name is Saeed, and he was like, why don't you make a South Asian mac and cheese? And I told him, I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. Why don't you go on my latest video and leave it as a comment, so then I can use it as a when I reply, I can reply to it with the video.
Yeah.
And that's why you saw it. Like, if you watch that video,
Yeah.
it says, you know, make a spicy mac and cheese, South Asian mac and cheese. So then I was like, okay, what can I do? What about, and I know one of my favorite dishes is like butter chicken. So I was like, what if I combine butter chicken and mac and cheese together? And then, you know, that was born.
That is so awesome. That is really cool. And honestly, I think that combination was absolutely fantastic. So for everyone that are in the lives, what we're going to do now is Shihan wasn't supposed to know that I made a yummy or yucky on the buttered chicken before we started the live, but I tagged him in it, and he is on point in terms of responding and reacting to his ads and stuff. So he already saw the video, but we're gonna play it for him on the StreamYard we have going for my YouTube channel. But please feel free to go watch my last yummy or yucky. It's episode 57, and it is Shihan's butter chicken mac and cheese. And what we're going to do is have Shihan watch it, react it, and give me feedback on my review of his recipe.
All right,
so
let's do it.
I'm going to go ahead and
so it's going to play on the laptop over here, right?
Yeah, I'm going to put it on the laptop. So let me see. Add to stream. There we go. Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, it's sharing the audio, so let me know if you can hear it.
All right.
to see if they're actually working right. Today we're making butter chicken mac and cheese. First, you want to start off with cubing up your chicken and then putting this seasoning mix.
Oh, you got the right seasoning.
A little bit of olive oil and then mix it up until it looks like this. After you do that, you want to go ahead and put a pan on medium heat, put a little bit of olive oil in there, and get your chicken
you got the garlic.
Of minced garlic, and then when it starts gravying, you want to add the butter.
That's the proper word, gravying.
Of tomato paste. After that, you want to add a cup of heavy whipping cream. Let it boil for about 5 minutes, and then add your pasta, your mac and cheese pasta, and mix it up. Look at how good that looks. After that, you want to
I love the color.
Put one layer.
You hit it on the nail.
Layer of cheese, another layer of your mixture, and then some mozzarella cheese on top, and put it in the oven at 400 for about 15
that looks beautiful.
Guys, this was 1000%.
Oh, look at the cheese pool.
The best thing I've made so far. It was so delicious, so creamy. You have to try this dish. Like and follow for more, guys. Hey, guys.
Oh, that was great, man. That was great.
Glad you liked it, man. Honestly, it's all to you. Like, I watched your video probably 8 times to make sure I got it right, and I was so sad that I didn't have Thai chili peppers to put on top of it. But it was honestly awesome that you said this dish, because I actually love butter chicken. I had a friend in college who owned an authentic Thai restaurant. Her parents owned it, but we went to it one day randomly for a dinner party for her birthday, and she let us try all this stuff. And the first thing that I tried was butter chicken. That was my first authentic like Thai dish that I had tried, and I was blown away. I loved it. And when I say this, I don't say it lightly. This was the best recipe I've made on TikTok so far, and this was better butter chicken than that recipe. I hope her parents aren't watching this right now, but it seriously was that good. So thank you so much for it. I have it right here. Like, I made it before this, so I can't wait to dive into it. I mean, look at this. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, it was really, really good. So appreciate you making this, appreciate your content overall, man. And want to know, like, where you wanting to take this, like your TikTok, the cinematography you do. I know you do amazing photos on Instagram too, like that photo of that guy in Bangladesh you were talking. Actually, he's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah, that is so cool. Like, that was such an awesome story. But where are you wanting to take your TikTok or your social media?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I did start a new series on TikTok. It's called Shihan's Sauce Corner. And so essentially what I'm doing is trying different sauces that are out there, because there's literally thousands and thousands of sauces that are out there. And I'm trying all of them. And essentially, the way that my series is unique is, 3 things. The first one is, when I try these sauces, it's just not on a spoon and I'm just trying it. I'm trying it on actual food items that you guys would, eat your sauce with. Second thing is, I don't have like a rating system between 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. It's either good or it's not. It's either good or it's not. That's just the rating system I'm going with. And then third is the whole thing about, like, okay, this type of food, whether it's eggs or whether it's fries or whether it's pizza or wings, I usually have it with a Thai chili pepper, but can this sauce, take its place? Is this sauce as good as a Thai chili pepper? Because a Thai chili pepper, you got to remember, if you eat it properly, not the whole thing in your mouth. There's a lot of people on TikTok, like, after they see me, with the Thai chili peppers, they'll go on my Instagram and they'll like send me videos of them eating a whole Thai chili pepper, and I'm like, no, don't do that. A Thai chili pepper, the proper way to eat it is you just take conservative bites, little bites. And it's similar to a hot sauce. It flavors the food because the Thai chili pepper has a phenomenal flavor to it. And it has a nice spice to it. It doesn't burn you or punch you in the face. It just has a nice little subtle spice to it. So it's like, does this sauce can it replace the Thai chili pepper? And then so what I'll do is, I'll either swipe left or right. And then I have a shot of milk. And then, if it gets too spicy, I'll say that, I'll take the shot of the milk. But if it's not too spicy, which it shouldn't be too spicy because a Thai chili pepper isn't too spicy, then I'll just dump the milk on the table.
There we go. Okay. I love that. That's so cool.
So I'm thinking of that, and then I'm doing, so I started that series. I did 2 episodes so far. Every Saturday I'm dropping a new episode. It might get more frequent. And then so I'm trying that now. I do have, it's a full disclaimer. I don't I'm not accepting money from sauce companies to do these reviews. That's one thing I said. I was like, and then the main reason is because if your sauce is bad, I'm gonna trash it, right? So I
You
let
want
them
full
know. I'm
creative
just like,
freedom,
listen,
like you were talking about.
yeah, I'm just like, listen, you don't want to pay me for this. Trust me, you don't, because if it ends up being bad, it's gonna be a bad review. That's just, it's because it's the honest truth I'm giving. And so I kind of did like pilot episodes on my live. So earlier on, I used to go on my live and I used to try, hot sauces. And when the hot sauce is bad, like, they'll laugh on my live, because if it's bad, I literally say this is the worst hot sauce I ever had, or something like that. So
There we go.
it's that concept. So I'm really keeping it true. I'm really keeping it honest.
There we go. I love that. So what's the best hot sauce that you'd recommend so far, and then what's the worst?
Yeah. So before I say that, I just want to reiterate, I am not being paid by them. In fact, I made the company that I'm going to mention. I made 3 videos using their product. They used all 3 of my videos on their TikTok and on their IG, and it's really hard to get on their IG. They used my videos, and they still haven't sent me a care package.
What?
But
come on,
this company, which I'll name right now, is Truff. So Truff hot sauce, it's expensive. It's like $16 a bottle if you get the regular hot sauce, and it's like $30 a bottle if you get their white truffle. But it's expensive, but it's probably the best hot sauce I probably had. The main reason is because the consistency is just right. It doesn't like coagulate or any of those things, or it's not too thin. It's just the right consistency. The taste is absolutely phenomenal. And the spice is just right. It doesn't overwhelm you or anything like that. And it flavors the crap out of your food. So
there
Truff is probably the best. So far, out of all, and I have a hot sauce collection. I'll show you guys one day. I have a fridge over here that's just full of hot sauces. So I've tried over hundreds and hundreds of hot sauces, and that's probably the best one. But after that, I would say is second place is Nando's. So if you guys know Nando's, they do like the peri peri chicken. Nando's, they also have really good hot sauce. But yeah, Truff, their stuff is serious. But Truff, if you see this video, please send me a care package.
Come on, Truff, you gotta send it to him. You gotta send it to him now. But that's awesome. That's really cool. And when we were talking about different wing ideas, I just got a good one. You don't have to use it or anything, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are on it. A Thai mango wing.
So I'm glad that you said it. So here's what happened about 7 days ago. I was in the process of making a Thai mango wing, and
no way.
Yeah, and I went to the my mom's organic store, and I got the mango and everything. I come home and I'm ready to do this video. I'm stoked, and I go to cut the mango, and it's dry. But it looked like it was nice and ripe, but it was dry. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do right now? So I had to quickly improvise, and I forgot which dish I made, but it ended up doing well on TikTok. But that's when I had to improvise. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for the summer season, more around like June and July. That's when the mango season is at its peak.
Yeah.
So when I get some nice juicy mangoes, but that's on the list.
There we go. I love it. Well, I'll be definitely watching out for it.
Absolutely.
And someone in here said that you like Jonathan Lindell Kurt.
Jonathan Lindell, I get that all the time. So I get that. I get Kenan Thompson. I get The Weeknd.
I could see The Weeknd. Yeah.
all over my comments, So this Halloween, you guys are gonna see some characters.
There we go. Let's go. You should figure out like what The Weeknd's favorite food is or something, and then make the dish dressed up like him.
Yeah, so I was gonna do one thing with like I was gonna do a celebrity series, but it's just so hard
Mhm.
for me to like sit there and research if someone can do it for me, or if there's a catalog that's already out there. But I was trying to figure out a celebrity, like what's their favorite food, and then like kind of cook for them, and then like
Mhm.
name that dish after them.
That's actually there's a guy named Will Tennyson on
Uh-huh.
YouTube. He's like a fitness, but he also does recipes. He's done a few videos on celebrities where he's eating a lot of their favorite dishes, and
Right.
there are lists like you can just search top celebrities' favorite foods, and it will
Gotcha.
tell you exactly what their favorite foods are. Like The Rock's favorite food is thick brioche French bread or French toast. Sorry. um, so it's like literally an entire loaf of brioche bun that he just pours a bunch of eggs into and then just
Wow.
eats it whole. That's his big breakfast thing. Uh, but yeah, you should. That would be an awesome series. Like you could totally do that.
And but you know at that the twist is there's always gonna be Thai chili pepper in it, so it's like
Yeah,
me introducing
exactly.
them to the Thai chili pepper, you know.
Hmm. And when you were talking about the proper way to eat it, I think you're showing everybody because every single video you do, I see you slicing it up and then just
Yeah.
sprinkling it on top or in it. You know, it's never like a whole pepper. So that's good to know. I noticed that and I didn't know that it was a specific way you should eat it.
Yeah, there's different ways to eat it. You can do if you really want to flavor your food afterwards. You know, eating it raw. Like
Hmm.
that's why on some dishes I'll sprinkle it on some dishes I'll cook with it. So it just depends on how you want to have the food flavored.
Got it. So you said your mom owns an organic food store?
No, no, no. I said there's a grocery store called Mom's Organic. It's
Oh.
popular in our area.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of Mom's Organic. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, this has been a really great conversation, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
When you think about the experience that you've gone through, and it's really cool because ours have been very similar on TikTok, anyways, in terms of like I started 3 months ago as well, and mine didn't come from like a passion of like wanting to establish my own creativity, but more like expressing a passion for food while also giving people like an honest, average guy's opinion of the foods that are shown on TikTok. Because
Right.
I love food TikTok. And as I kept scrolling through it, I was just like, these people aren't explaining how to make it fully. They're not telling you like what what to expect when eating it. They're not showing them eating it to see if it's actually good. They're just putting some music to it, doing a bunch of quick cuts, and then showing a pretty picture of it. So that's where came in, and I was like, hey, I've been wanting an excuse to get back into the kitchen because I actually used to cook a lot with my grandma when I was
Wow.
really young. I was like living with my grandparents because I had an interesting childhood. I lived with them from about 6 years old, 6 to 8 years old, till I was 13. And my grandma was not a great cook at all, but she loved cooking and she made it like a fun time, for me specifically. Like we would we would literally microwave vegetables and her pancakes were famous for being really bad. Like but the fact that we enjoyed making them together and like our whole family would come to her house on like Saturday mornings and we would make her pancakes and eat them together. And
Wow.
she would just always tell me I would be a chef because I like loved trying to make her recipes a little bit better or something like that, or just getting to make them together. So finding that kind of opening and saying, hey, like nobody's giving an honest opinion on this stuff. They're just saying it's good and moving on. And
Right.
then me kind of want to finding a reason to get back in the kitchen made it to where I started making these videos. And then I had so much fun with it. I kept going. And then I had a crescent roll ring video get like 40,000 views. And I was like, okay, this could be something. And
Right.
then it just kind of went off from there. So it's awesome to connect with you and just like make friends on this app who have very
Absolutely.
similar passions. And um, I want to know how you do your lighting in your videos though. Like your lighting is so on point. It makes
Yeah.
mine look just like complete trash. So what does that setup look like?
Yeah, I mean that setup. I mean, obviously it comes with years of trial and
Yeah.
error and learning. But all the equipment that I use is like absolute professional. So
Hmm.
uh, a lot of people, like, when they ask me, they're like, they'll message me and they'll say, I want to know the exact lighting you're using. So I send them a link, and they see the price and they're like, never mind, I'll stick to my ring light.
That's so funny. I have a ring light that you can like I'm using right now, and then I have just two photographers lights. They're on like tripods, and
Right.
I think they're like LED with the umbrellas, but it I don't know how to use them properly, so that I don't see like a huge improvement on the lighting from using it.
Right.
And I have to make my recipes like early in the morning, so there's
Right.
no light outside to use like natural lighting or anything. Um, so I might offline ask you for some lighting tips,
No, absolutely.
so I can up
Absolutely.
my game like yours. But
No, for sure.
yeah, I think in terms of the Young Talks part, I like this has been an awesome conversation. I really appreciate it. It's been cool to get to know you better. I think something else we wanted to cover is like obviously your Ramadan series is going to be ending next Wednesday.
Correct. Yeah.
So are there any sneak peeks in terms of some awesome recipes you have coming up? And then would love to hear about kind of your take on Ramadan and what it means to you.
Absolutely. So the last few days, expect a lot of fusion dishes. Um,
Okay.
I'm going to be doing a lot of fusion dishes, and but also keep in mind, as you guys know, anytime I do like any type of recipe, I always try to make it as easy as possible. I try to use ingredients that usually you should have in your household. If you look at my butter chicken recipe, now there's different ways to do butter chicken, right? And if you saw like Ahmed from Golden Balance, if you saw him do it, he used those emulsifiers, and he did cashews and onions and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But I know like the typical person is not going to go out of their way to actually do that.
I wouldn't have
Um,
been able to do that recipe. Yeah.
exactly. So I try to make certain dishes, and it'll still taste traditional, but I try to do it in such a manner that is very easy for the average person to do it. So these fusion dishes that I'm going to be doing, they're going to be easy for you to do at home, and that's my number one. So I have three rules when I make a video. Number one is the recipe has to be easy. And now sometimes maybe I can't always follow that rule because it might be a dish, but that's like maybe one out of every 30 videos, right? So the recipe has to be easy. The second thing is the food has to look good on camera, right? I
Yeah.
can't I can't make something and it doesn't look good on camera. And then the third rule is, well, if it looks good, it better taste good.
Hmm.
So that's always, so I always go by those three rules. Now there has been a dish that didn't make it. And I'll admit to which dish it was. I had this codfish that I got, and it just I did like this little butter and garlic base to it, and it just didn't work. It just
Yeah.
did not only didn't it look good, but the recipe was easy, but it didn't look good and it tasted absolutely horrible. So I do have one dish that never made it on TikTok.
Well, you're saving the people from that one, right? I love the three
Absolutely.
rules though. Those three rules are really cool. And I know a lot of people who watch my lives anyways, I don't know about yours, are always curious of like how you have grown on TikTok in such a short amount of time and like what you attribute that to. What would you say is like the main reason that you've been able to get the growth you have, besides having amazing looking videos, obviously, and having like insanely awesome equipment to use?
Yeah. So I was speaking to one of my good friends that I made friends with in TikTok yesterday. He's actually on my side of the live. His name is Abid, and I definitely
Yeah,
want to
dude.
connect you. I definitely want to connect you with him. He says hi back. So you guys definitely should connect too. Do this session with him as well. But yesterday when I was talking to him, one of the main things that I told him was like, and I was telling everyone that's watching is TikTok is actually an app for the people. TikTok's main job is to find viral videos. Their algorithm or whatever you want to call it, its job is to find viral videos and to scope out which videos are actually worth watching. And that's why it's so important to think about content first, right? Because if you don't have good content, can you still go viral? Yeah. But are you going to be a sustainable influencer? Probably not. Why? Number one, because if you're just going viral doing stupid stuff, companies will not want to sponsor you. That's number one. You have no brand value. And number two is you're not going to have actual followers and fans, right? They're just following you just because you're some idiot doing something. So if you make good content, that's number one. So just really focus on making good content, because if you make good content, your video will do well. And that's something that I saw myself. It's like if the content is good, TikTok will show it around, because again, TikTok's main job is to, number one, make money. That's what TikTok's job is. That algorithm is designed to make money. That algorithm is designed to keep people hooked to their on the TikTok app. So if your video makes people hooked to the app, TikTok is going to make your video viral. And if you're able to repeatedly do that over and over, and remember, it's not just content, right? So it's not just like if you're doing, like there's videos of people like just doing really stupid stuff, but then there's video of people providing value, right? So if you're able to provide value, if you're able to entertain, those two are the main things: value and entertainment, right? The same thing with TV. You watch TV for two reasons: either you're going to learn something, or you're going to be entertained. So if you're on TikTok, just keep that in mind. Be you, be your real self, and because there's millions of people that will actually like that personality.
That is such a good point. I love that. So the last question I want to ask you before we just end the Yum Talks part is, and I've always wanted to ask this question because I'm a big fan of Tim Ferriss. Do you know who Tim Ferriss is?
Yeah, the 4 hour work
Like
week.
the 4 hour, yeah, 4 hour work week, all that. On his podcast, he always ends it with asking this one question. He's like, if you could have a billboard saying anything you wanted, in the world, what would you have it say?
Be consistent.
Be consistent. Why is that?
A lot of people, they'll start something and they'll give up. And the last over a decade, me, helping businesses and starting my own business, consistency is such a key. And with consistency, you have to remember, comes failure. So you will fail more times than you win, but the time that you do win, it just overlaps all the failures. So you're going to fail 9 times out of 10. I'll tell you that right now. 9 times out of 10, you're going to fail. But that one time you do win, it just triumphs all the other failures. So people think just, being consistent is doing the same thing over and over. No, that's called insanity, right? Being consistent means learning from your mistake and then keep going at that goal. That's what consistency means.
Wow. I love that. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. And obviously, everyone go check out his profile, like Chili Pepper Cooks. Seriously, worth the follow. Super amazing recipes. And go follow his Instagram too, because Shihan, you're some awesome photos on your Instagram. So appreciate you
Absolutely.
doing this, man.